Plan Cabin was silent until the slap a sharp crack that made every head turn, and there, the she stood. Brenda Collins, flight attendant with 20 years of service and zero humanity, her hand still raised as the red imprint bloomed on Maya Henderson's cheek. "Animals like you don't belong in first class," Brenda sneered. "That's what thieves get." And with a single motion, she ripped the boarding pass in half and hurled the pieces at Maya's feet like garbage. "Get on your knees," she commanded. "Pick up your fake ticket and crawl back to economy where you belong." And 30 passengers watched, phones out, recording, whispering. Finally, someone is handling these scammers properly. But Maya didn't move, not a flinch, not a tear. Just stood there in her worn jeans with a tear at the knee, her faded white t-shirt, her scuffed sneakers that had carried her through too many hard miles. And when Brenda grabbed her shoulders and shoved her into the seat, screaming, "Did you not hear me? Get on your knees!" Maya didn't resist. She just looked at her, calm, and Brenda, enraged, hissed, "Criminals like you always do." And the word criminals hung in the air like poison gas. Security arrived within 2 minutes. Manager Steve Morrison stormed in, didn't even glance at Maya, barked, "Ma'am, boarding pass and ID now." And when Maya quietly said, "She destroyed it," Brenda laughed a harsh, mocking laugh that made the whole cabin chuckle. "Look at her," she shouted. Jeans with a tear, sneakers from a thrift store. "Does she honestly look like she belongs in a $2,000 first-class seat?" And the crowd nodded. An elderly man in a 3-piece suit muttered loud enough for all to hear, "Disgraceful behavior. In my day, people knew their proper place in society." His wife clutched her purse tighter and whispered, "I don't feel safe with her on this plane." And Jessica Winters, influencer with perfectly styled blonde hair and designer clothes, began live streaming from seat 1B, her voice dripping with fake sympathy. "Oh my God, guys. There's literally a scammer in first class right now trying to steal someone's seat. The flight attendant is handling it absolutely perfectly." And her viewer count exploded. 847, 2,400, 5,000, 12,000 comments flooding in like a tidal wave. Zero tolerance, ban her from all airlines. Why don't they just follow simple rules? Captain Robert Caney entered, silver-haired, decorated, authoritative, and without hesitation declared, "Ms. Collins is one of our most experienced and trusted flight attendants. If she says there's a problem, then there's definitely a problem." And the crowd sighed. Justice had been served. But Maya's phone buzzed insistently in her bag. 15 missed calls from the board of directors, and she ignored them. The radio crackled, "Steve, this is Patricia Walsh from Regional Management. I'm getting multiple reports of a significant situation on Flight 447. I need an immediate status report." And Morrison keyed the mic loud enough for the entire cabin to hear. "Completely under control, Patricia. Standard fraud attempt by a repeat offender. We're removing the individual immediately per company policy. Absolutely zero tolerance." And the crowd murmured approval. Officer Martinez stepped forward, hand resting on his cuffs. "Ma'am, do you have valid government identification and a legitimate boarding pass for seat 2A in first class?" And Maya repeated, "She destroyed it." And Brenda stepped forward triumphantly, because any person with working eyes could see it was completely fake. "I've been doing this job for 20 years. I know a professional scammer when I see one." And the crowd broke into spontaneous applause. Jessica zoomed in on Maya's face, the red handprint glowing like a brand, her viewers at 18,000 and climbing. Then Maya reached slowly into her worn leather messenger bag. Something metallic caught the light. Morrison barked, "Keep your hands completely visible. Don't reach for anything without permission." And Maya pulled out her phone. Pressed call. The screen lit up with one name, CEO, Horizon Air Holdings. Maya Henderson and the cabin froze silence so thick you could hear hearts stop. Then the voice came through the speakerphone, calm, cold, precise. "Brenda," one word, and Brenda's face turned to ice. "You slapped a CEO. Pause. You ripped up my boarding pass. Pause. You called me a thief, a scammer, a criminal." And then Maya pulled out her badge, titanium, gleaming. "Unmistakable Horizon Air Holdings CEO ownership stake, 68% founder and sole beneficiary," and the cabin erupted. A woman screamed. An old man dropped his cane. Jessica's phone slipped from her hands. Viewers hit 47,000, 120,000, 500,000, 1.2 million. Maya turned to the crowd. You all recorded this. You all cheered. You all thought you were upholding justice. She looked at Brenda. You didn't just assault me, a beat. You assaulted every person who's ever been told they didn't belong. She turned to the captain. Captain, you've flown for Horizon for 38 years. You know our core value, he whispered. Service with dignity. And Maya said, then why didn't you see mine? She tapped her tablet. The overhead screen flashed, live stream, Horizon Air official announcement, viewers 1.8 million. And counting, her face appeared calm. The red handprint still visible to every person who ever felt invisible on a plane. You are not invisible to every person who was told you didn't belong. You belong to every flight attendant who's ever had to choose between following orders and doing what's right. We see you. I am Maya Henderson. I founded this airline. I built it on the belief that dignity doesn't come with a price tag. Today we fired someone who forgot that. And tomorrow, we're launching the Dignity Project free upgrades for every passenger who's ever been judged for how they looked. Training for every employee who wants to learn how to see the person, not the outfit, and a public apology from Horizon Air. To Brenda Collins, because even monsters deserve a chance to change, but not on my plane. And Brenda collapsed into her seat. Sobbing, a flight attendant in the galley covered her mouth, tears streaming. A young black man stood up, clapped, then another, then the whole cabin, not applause, weeping flight. 447 took off on time. Brenda was fired, Morrison suspended, Jessica's channel deleted Horizon. Air donated $10 million to fight economic discrimination in travel Dushatker Dignity Project. Trended worldwide, and later, Maya walked down the jet bridge in jeans. In sneakers, a little girl, 8 years old, in a faded dress, stared. Maya knelt. You ever feel like you don't belong? The girl nodded. Maya smiled. Then you're exactly where you're supposed to be. She handed her a boarding pass, first class, seat 1A. Your flight's boarding. Welcome aboard. The girl ran screaming, laughing. Waving, Maya watched, smiled, walked onto the plane. Prejudice doesn't just hurt others, it destroys the people who wield it. The next time you judge someone by their clothes, ask yourself, what if they own thee?